think I'm live. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Let me know. I have some really an amazing share, a galactic share. You might want to come in the room. I'm excited to share this. Uh, I'll wait until everyone comes. Check on in. Hey, Melissa. You know that song by Beyonce? So good, so good, so good. I can't sing, y'all. So you know, it's like I just popped in my head like telepathically. So good, so good. Wasn't it you that said, I don't want to back that through? I don't want to have a clue. Wasn't it you that said that I want to make it through? Wasn't you that said, I don't want to. Remember that song? I know that I'm feeling so good. Hey, Nicole. I'm representing Mount Vernon. Big up to Mount Vernon in the motherfucking house. I'm in a non populated location for now. Hey, Chan. Chan, thank you, thank you. Come on in. You like my earrings? You know, I got this from my ex-husband recently. Not too long ago. He got me this from Mexico. Don't ever sleep on your exes sometimes. Sometimes they're diabolical when you're with them. But when you're not with them anymore, sometimes they can actually be decent. It's not always good to be with them, but if you remain friends, and you know, he is the father of my children. He likes to please me. Not in that way. Anyway, come on in. Checking in. I had contact, y'all. So, isn't it so sweet? Big up to the melanated men in the motherfucking house. I talk mad smack about y'all sometimes, but you are my absolute favorite. My favorite flavor is cooked caramel with a dash of cayenne or some allspice, depending on the time of day. Mm-mm-mm. I'm drinking Dolly Bottle goodness today. Do not judge me. You'll see by the green straw. It's so sinful and terrible. I do want to come out of the closet, though. I do have a revelation. So I have joined the LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ, hey, Delmache, community. Wait, did I get it right? I have joined, I think you know this already. I am a trans frog. We'll start the topic at 500, y'all. So I'm just going to play with you a little bit. Listen, I am part of the LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ community. I told you I was a trans frog. You've always accepted me for my amphibian qualities. Ribbit. Thank you so much. But I have another revelation, y'all. I want to come out to the closet because I don't want to be in the closet. I want to keep it real with y'all. You know what I mean? They're the only community that accepted me for being who I really am. So, oh, Nicole, I know the coffee. I have a problem. You know, look, the NPCs are coming because I'm going to talk about the extraterrestrial. Oh my God. They're coming. They're coming. I should have picked another location. Yeah, I am a LGBTQIST. Yes, I am a transformer. I am a trans frog. Some sort an amphibian. Oh, this guy's smiling at me already. It's too early in the day. Oh God. You know, sometimes, gentlemen, we just want to be. You know what I mean? Every time I make a video, like I just sometimes unsolicited admiration. It's a little wild. You're a trans cat. Angel says she's a trans cat. Meow, meow. Nothing wrong with changing into a puss. I was gonna be a little naughty. It's too early. Come on in, y'all. I'm gonna come out of the closet in a minute. I'm gonna wait until before 500, and then we'll start the topic because I've had contact, y'all. Let me just let it out because look. They're coming. Oh no. This man is smiling at me and he has his wife in the car. This is really disturbing. They're coming. I should make the video somewhere else. No. The NBC, the Matrix, they're like all behind me, the children. Holy crap. They're everywhere. They're like driving. They're all behind me. Okay, let me do this real quick. I'm coming out of the closet. I know I really apologize for maybe not being authentic. I didn't know who I was. I spoke to DJ Lisa yesterday and she kind of helped me come to terms with my new LGBT. Do I get perks? Do I get like benefits? I think I get tax. Do I get taxes off for revealing this? Just let me know. Maybe I get taxes off, okay? Okay, y'all. You ready? I apologize if this messes with you and you feel like you've been duped by following me this long and not knowing that I was this. You've accepted me as a frog and I really love you for doing that. I really felt like you didn't judge me based on my amphibian qualities. But now, it's so hard to come out. I'm a demisexual. Yeah, according to DJ Lisa, I am demisexual. I'm so excited that I've come out. It makes me feel free. It makes me feel like I'm not hiding anything anymore. That feels so good. Do I get 20% discount? Eden says, oh shoot. I'm so excited. 20% discount off what? Like Life Surprise. Do I get coffee off for telling my truth? I'm a demisexual. Look it up. Yeah. I am wild. I only froggy style martial arts. I'm being a nutty buddy, y'all. I am a demisexual though. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ Lisa, for helping me come out in the LGBTQRSTWXYZ community. I'm loving it. I like my new status, y'all. Don't much I am. I'm in heat, y'all. And I've found my I shouldn't talk about that right now. Anyway, let me talk about my contact. Oh boy. I'll wait until we get to 500. I'm on coffee. I'm on the wrong coffee too, so you already know. I'm on the diabolical stuff. Oh, the top popped off. See what happens? Oh my God. The freaking NPCs are all over the place. The husband is smiling at me while his wife is out getting coffee. It's really disturbing. You know, if you're married, don't flirt with the woman in the car next door. I should bust him. I should put him on camera. Okay, I'll behave myself, y'all. Yes, please put some likes on the video if you're up for the shenanigans today. I had contact I shouldn't say last night. It was in the Rising. And you know what's interesting? They were talking about, like, there were a lot of people having contact. I'm not the only one. So I want to say this, but the revelations were off the motherfucking chart. Uh-oh. Someone from the Bronx just texted me. Big up to the men in the Bronx. You are some of the sexiest. Let me give a shout out. I'm really feeling today, y'all. Let me give the shout out to you New York men, brethren. Some of you LAX dudes too. You could get it too. But y'all are the most beautiful, amazing, handsome. Your vibe is, C-stars, if you haven't dated a guy from New York, especially from the Bronx, you haven't dated. Like, they are like feral soldiers. How is your OnlyFans? I don't have an OnlyFans, Melissa. Not my Melissa, another Melissa. Why do you think that women only do OnlyFans? Like, do you think that's respectable? Do you think that I've been on YouTube this long so that I can be on and show my hoo-ha? That is absolutely disrespectful. How dare you? I said I'm a trans frog. Doesn't mean I'm doing trans frog pornography on that OnlyFans. Not every woman is doing that. That's a young generational thing, as far as I know. Stop it already. You could call me a frog. You could call me a Negro. You could call me confused. But calling me on OnlyFans, like, you really want to get kicked out of here. That's so disrespectful. Of all things, I've been called everything like space trash, cosmic slut. But you're gonna call me an OnlyFans? You're so disrespectful. Get out of here. I'm not disrespecting you OnlyFans young ladies, but come on now. Really? Do you feel like my age I should be doing that? I have children, for God's sake. I'm not at 500 yet. Stop it already. I just came out as a pansexual. I mean, oh, not a pansexual. A demisexual, not a pansexual. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Anyway, you out of control. My God, just because you think I'm sexy doesn't mean I'm doing sexual things on different sites. I could do it right here. If I want to be saucy, I'll come to my YouTube channel and give you a little sauce. I don't have to go on a ratchet site and pay for a war. Mother freakers. I love you. I'm just playing with y'all. Come on in. The bots are in. I had contact, y'all. I'm waiting for 500. We're almost there. The husband is probably mad. God, I'm trying. Maybe I should move. I think I might. The trolls are in here because they know what's going on. As soon as I said I was in contact with the Anunnaki, oh yes, the Niburians have come, y'all. We rebuke you trolls. Go have a life. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys don't know. Many of you know Puppy Eyes. She just confirmed because I'm on. God. Oh my God. I love it. Thank you, Miss Puppy Eyes. Many of you know Puppy Eyes is a medium. We were talking about contact, and she just confirmed because she texted at the same time I'm on here. Okay, we're at 500. We're over 500. Let's get it in, y'all. So, peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is Fleur Brown coming to you today with another amazing revelation. So I think many of you know there's your Willy Wonka systems have gone rogue. They're crazy right now. They're preparing for something. As you know, they've unleashed the National Guard in all of the urban cities. We talked about the fact that I know they're doing it because the extraterrestrials, the ETs, the scouts on ground are reminiscent of what you perceive to be ordinary brown people in the United States. Okay? Okay. And because of that, they have unleashed their Borgs of mass destruction to just really try to go. And let me say this for our DC family. DC family, you must understand and understand that they do have technology that they're using while they're checking, trying to find the scouts, the extraterrestrial scouts in DC and the other areas that they're releasing the National Guards. They do have technology that is hidden, that they've been using governmentally. The government created dark ops. And what they're using is these types of contacts and also these detectors to see if someone is of human origin. Okay, this is what they're using. So please don't be fooled to think that they're just looking for thugs around Washington, D.C. D.C. has always had an element of homelessness that none of the presidents have ever really focused on or tried to relinquish or try to remedy. Okay, so don't think that if this was a problem or an issue. And I did talk to a C-Star who did say there's a lot of murders happening in DC. So I don't want to take away from the diabolicalness that is happening in that community where there is a lot of craziness going on. But remember, I don't know if that's all that's just brand new. Okay. And if this was an issue, your president would have dealt with this in 2016 or in the 4 years that he was, well, he said he didn't want to live in the White House because it was ghetto anyway. Remember that? Do you guys remember that? Hold on. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when Trump said he didn't want to live in the White House? He said he was better than that. Oh, wait. Just a sidebar. Did you hear, word on the curb, did you hear that Epstein has slept with Trump's then new, his wife, now wife, Melania? And Epstein was sleeping with her for a year before he introduced her, the high price hooker. First lady to President Trump. Just word on the curb. I don't know how true it is. I'm a frog. I'm a trans. I'm a demisexual. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I just want to put that out there. I just wanted to add a little gossip to the situation. All right, y'all. So as we were speaking last time, I talked about the fact that we had this so-called comet, which we know isn't common. They're calling it Axis 1. what's it called? XO1? Something rather, a comet of mass destruction. Um, and they were saying that it's a comet that's coming in close proximity. That this was something that was going to pass by Earth. Yada yada yada. Atlas, thank you, Atlas. And then to find out that there's been a lot of revelations that it's not. Oh, A1 31 Atlas. Thank you, Eden. 31 Atlas, saying that this is not just. Oh, Timberland John just came next door, yo. For you lunar women who like them brawny ones. I'm in heat, y'all. Please, I'm distracted. My hormones are out of control. I'm sorry. Let me focus. Anyway, so Atlas is coming. They were saying that it was a comet. It's not a comet. They have revealed that it is some sort of ship, rather. And a lot of people are saying supposedly NASA had some sort of communication. Maybe they were getting some sort of people are saying they're hearing they had a message on, what was it, the Georgia channel, where an Anunnaki came in and spoke and disrupted the news, the broadcast, to broadcast their own message. There's a lot of things that people are saying. Whether we can prove them or vet them out will come with time. Now, many years ago, I don't remember what year, maybe 2000, and I'm referencing this because it's important to what I'm sharing with you. I forgot if it was 2015 or 14. I had contact with these galactic melanated women. Now, these weren't necessarily Andromedans to my knowing. The difference between them and the Andromedans usually have like dreadlocks, like twists. And they usually put golds, like pine cones, in a different color, or mineral pine cones to distinguish their ranking. Okay. Generally, you'll see that the Andromedans tend to be anywhere from my complexion, darker. They could be a little fair skinned, but they're generally brown extraterrestrials. When you saw the EBE that they showed on the dark side of the moon, which was a whole psyop, that was an Andromedan. Her hair was dreadlock, coiled. She had an apparatus on her pineal gland, and it was on her face because they drive the craft with their mind, with their pineal gland. Okay, so that was one of our Andromedans. The women that I had contact with, it was only one time. And what's interesting? That show, what's that show? What was it? God darn it. There is a movie. It was a show. It was about Lovecraft. Okay. I want to bring up Lovecraft because there was a scene where the young lady with the blue hair, the brown one that came back with the blue hair, Hippolyta. I think her name was Hippolyta. Do you guys remember that? I have to remember this. You remember, somebody remember the afros. Somebody remembered. Okay. Why I bring this up is because when I saw, after I had contact, Hippolyta, there's a scene with Hippolyta, and she goes into the quantum field, and she experiences all these different versions of past lives. Hippolyta, right? It was Hippolyta. Was it Hippolyta? Was it? It was Hippolyta, right? Okay. Yes, it was Lovecraft. Thank you, Jamoji. It was Lovecraft Country. Excellent show. You have to watch it. But she had traveled in the quantum field to all these different realms. So when she did that, she experienced different versions of herself, whether it was from the past going all the way to the future. Hippolyta. Thank you. Hippolyta. Thank you, Delmache. Why I bring that up is because when I had contact with these melanated women, it was 3, I believe, and they had geometrical shapes in their afros. If you remember my video, this is years ago. I don't know if it's 2015 or 2017, because whoever remembers, you can go back to the video and reference it. I got to find out what year it was, but I had contact. And what I remember is that they put me in this hole. It was like a hole, like how you go ice fishing. I don't know if anybody goes ice fishing and when I entered the hole, I went into another version where I met them in another realm in a different way. I don't know if you've seen that video that I had. It's many years ago. I don't remember what year. I gotta try to remember, because this is relevant, because I was encountering the same beings again, but in a way. And the revelations are off the chart. Okay, I'll try to find, after this video, I'll kind of try to find the reference to the video that I did years ago. Again, some of you may know, but remember when I said I met these women, their hair was in different shapes, like a square. The afros were in a square, triangle, almost like a circle, but it was in their afros. And I never experienced beings that had geometrical shapes in their hair. It was really, really kind of awesome, so unique. Nothing that I could ever possibly even think beings would look like, or at least they would do their hair shape in. It was really fascinating. Why does this matter? Because the beings that I was in contact with came back again in a different form. Like their hair was also in geometrical shapes, but it looked like they were perceivably in a type of like in a school manner, in the way I was brought up on the ship. Now, let me talk about the contact and talk how it's relative to those women. And it's not only women, it was men as well. So it was about maybe 3 or 4 a.m. That's why I say it wasn't yesterday, but you know how we talk about maybe in the rising that we always say yesterday, even though it's like early morning rising times, right? So maybe about 3 or 4 a.m. I was having problems sleeping, and I remember before I went to sleep, I was listening to a video talking about, there was a lot of messages that were going to come off of Atlas, and that people, that apparently the ETs and a couple of different people were talking about, like we were supposed to get messages, specifically unique people that are connected to some of the groups that are, coming in off this so-called ship. We were supposed to get messages around this time this week. So I always thought to myself, if a message was going to come, because I have an open contact, I'm always excited to see if I'll have some form of contact in any which way. Sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. So I don't really make an expectation of it, because then I'll get disappointed and I'll feel like I'm not, maybe I'm not healthy enough. I always kind of blame myself if I don't get the contact, if I have an expectation of it. So I kind of just went to sleep thinking about it. And then on outside, there were like flashes. Now I'm in a different location. I'm not in my normal home. So the flashes could have been like, in my mind, it was like, well, maybe it's like, maybe it's like a light outside. So when I get up, I saw like these huge flashes in the sky, like, kind of what I've talked about before in my house. Not the same, but I think if you remember, if you've been a part of my channel for a while, you remember I said I would be sitting in the living room sometimes in my house in Florida, and I would get a flash in the middle of the living room, like a flash, like a Polaroid camera flash. Do you remember that? It's like a Polaroid camera flash, like a bright flash. There were flashes in the sky, but there wasn't any lightning or thunder. So I thought to myself, oh my God, this could be something coming in, or I'm thinking maybe comets coming in, something coming in that causes flashes. So I look and I don't see it anymore, and I'm just waiting, nothing else. I don't hear anything. I'm kind of figuring maybe it's just some sort of anomaly. I'm thinking it could be, in my mind, I'm thinking it could be from a comet coming in. Sometimes if something comes in the atmosphere, it'll do like a flash, but these were kind of bright. And it was maybe 3, maybe 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. Not pink. It was just like a bright white kind of yellow, like a bright yellow white flash. Reminiscent of a Polaroid camera flash, but not the same. I can't explain it. It was something similar. So I waited for a while, maybe about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, and I was tired. So I just went and sat back in the bed. So when I lied down, I felt my body vibrate, and I was like, oh my God, I know what this is. So I get a little nervous, because I always get anxiety, because I don't know what this contact is going to be. I know now, because my vibrating of my body lets me know first it's my toes. And I've had levels of contact, and usually with the contact, it comes in different ways, but sometimes it's accompanied with like buzzing in your body. And some of you know from having this experience, or maybe similar to when you leave your body astral planing, it has a similar effect. So kind of like buzzing, but it starts in the toes and it kind of goes up the legs. And then I feel it like going up my thighs, and it's creeping. So I know that most likely I'm physically going to be taken. Now I understand what this is. So I kind of try to quiet my mind a little bit. Kind of just get into a zone. I'm not really zened out person. I have a lot of like thoughts in my head. So I kind of try to quiet my mind, because my mind was going all over the place, just constant thoughts. And then I heard that reminiscent, if many of you have heard my contact before, but this time was a slow, lower, like bzz, bzz, no, like a lower, bzz, not a high pitch ringing, but the lower one. Do you guys, it almost seems like a kind of like a humming, not the higher pitch, but the lower pitch. So I hear the lower pitch and it kind of quiets my mind. It's interesting. I don't know for certain. I almost feel like they use some sort of technology so my thoughts would stop being scattered. Because as soon as I heard that, my mind started to quiet. Like just every thought started to just leave. Like, oh my God, I'm getting taken. That's gone. Oh my God, my body's, that's gone. Like clearing each my crazy brain, because I'm going all over the place, like, oh my God, I'm taking, okay, I gotta do this. No, it started to clear it, like almost like, but it was one at a time. So I finally had a clear mind, and then I woke up and I'm in a room, and in a room, it's almost like I wouldn't say, I'm on the ship. I know I'm on the ship because I'm not anywhere where I recognize, but I kind of recognize the people there. So why I recognize one of the girls, particularly the one that had the circle on her head, she looked like the younger version of herself, but she had like when you have an Afro puff? Does anyone know like what an Afro puff looks like? So when you have an Afro puff, but her Afro puff went up on top of her head, like here, like a bun, and then it went over like a ring of Saturn. I can't explain it. Like a ring of Saturn. So it was like an Afro puff, but it literally was like tight coils. I can't explain. If you know afros, you know what I'm talking about, but I've never seen an afro do this. Like I've seen afro puffs, but it actually created a ring over her head, like a halo over her head. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, this could be why there's so many references to halos, because of the way she looked. And in my mind, I'm just thinking quietly, and she just went like this so she could hear my thoughts. So I recognized her as one of the women. She looked like a younger version of herself, one of the women that was on that ship kind of scene where I went into that water portal. She was one of them. That's the one who had, so I'm assuming that they gain a certain geometrical shape, or that was a shape or I don't know, geometrical frequency that she always held, and she had it over her head. There were other girls in the room, none that I recognized other than her. And then there were males in the room as well. Now, I didn't want to talk about the night before. I'm going to kind of go into the story, but let me talk about the night before where I had contact. Now, I hate to skip, but I got to go back because this is a reference. It's important. When I went back the night before, I had made contact with my mate who's on the ship. Now, why this is important, because I think I talked about this, but maybe the Zombies, where my mate who's on the ship, who watches over my pod, he came inside of the Matrix. I don't know why. I don't know if it was to find me. I don't know if it was to assist me, but he came inside of the Matrix, inside of the hologram. He made the decision to come in. Now, I haven't seen him since he made that decision. I just know he came in, and I've not seen him ever since that. But when I had the night before, he came to me, and he made himself present to me. Like, I don't want to, it's not sexual, but it was kind of like he made his presence to me, and we kind of hugged, and I kind of felt relieved that I had a support system for me in here. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I have to leave him for a moment. I can't be with him, because if I am with him, they're going to detect him and we'll be found out. So I kind of had that moment with him. He was the same melanated male that was sleeping next to my pod. I talked about this before, and I kind of just put my head up, because he's much taller than me. So I put my head on his chest, and I felt like calm. Like I felt like I was being supported. I felt like I finally had a piece of who I was outside of the firmament. But I knew I had to leave. And I knew I had to leave in a way that wasn't going to be something that we both were going to be happy with. Because, when you meet a partner, or it's like your old mate, and you're like, you don't want to leave them, but I had to. So that was the night before. So I was already in that vibration when it comes to the contact the next day. Okay? So I wanted to share that because it's important, because he came back in. Okay, so what I realized is, when I'm in this so-called classroom, I don't know if it's a classroom, or it looked like a room where younger people were there, and I was one of them. Now, what's interesting about that is, because I'm a woman of a certain age, so I'm in the room, and I asked them, no, I said in my head, This is another thing, telepathically, they read your mind. I said in my head, why am I in the room with a bunch of teenagers? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm one of all these younger people in here. And I perceive them as younger because they look like teens. So in my head, the answer was, you're a teenager. And in my mind, I answered because I'm hearing this telepathic thought and I'm kind of bouncing it back. And I realized that they're able to hear my thoughts and I'm able to talk to them. And then the revelation came is that as an earthling, we are, many of us who are in a certain age range, we are the teens of their, of their, their societies. We aren't adults to them. So I can't explain it. Can you understand what I'm saying? Like, we aren't adults. We are teenagers. We're like the teen titans of their society. We're not adults. We perceive ourselves as adults because our lifespan in this realm seems so short. But in their lifespans, some of us are like preteens and just reaching teenagerhood in their adult, in their world. So when I'm in a classroom or in a room with a bunch of teens, I am appropriate in that society because I am a teenager. I'm in a room of my own peers. This is why I wanted to share this with you. So it's so crazy because I'm in a room what I perceive as an adult earthling in this holographic being, as an adult woman who has children that are bigger, but in that realm, I'm just barely into teenhood, and I'm with my peers. So I was bugged out. I was like, oh my God, I'm a teenager, like in their world. I'm not an adult. So I'm looking around like kind of bugged out because I'm making this revelation and they're amused. They're looking at me because they understand my thoughts and what I'm perceiving and how I'm trying to absorb this concept. Now, when I'm inside the ship, they also let me know that there was a concept that happens when they come around. Now, when the ship comes towards Earth, or your perceived Earth, it's a hologram. They come within close proximity. Now they tell me that the X means that you're ready to be picked. You're ready to be extracted if you're like almost like graduated in your consciousness. Are you staying with me? Please stay with me. If you're graduated in your consciousness. So meaning that, let's say you're a teenager and you're about to graduate, you would have to have already qualified for graduation, right? You would have had to take your core courses, you would have had to pass, you would have had to gain a certain level of skill set. So what the X means in each generation is your stage and development for extraction. I hope that, like, it was such a big revelation that I was bugged out. So each of the names they give us is not just random, like Generation Y, Generation Millennial. It's the stage of evolution of your potential extraction, your graduation status. That's why everything is X right now, because X means you're ready for extraction. Planet X, Generation X, Twitter changed to X. Everything is X's now because it means it's ready for extraction. X is exit. That's what that means. So what they understood is that I'm in that graduating status of X. And now a lot of the X's are going to have to be qualified in order to be made for their extraction, to leave, to be extracted outside of this holographic system. They don't perceive this world. Everyone in that room didn't perceive this world as real. They considered it to be like a and now I understand why I really love that movie with Sanaa Lathan, Aliens versus Predator, because I realized that it's a qualifying for some, they've been sentenced here, but it's also a place where we gain a certain amount of acknowledgement, wisdom, spiritual growth, evolution. This is a cultivating realm. So some beings decide that they don't want to go any further, so they just sink deep into like undergraduate status, where you ever get a graduate in college that does not want to graduate, like they're the forever senior, kind of like that. So you get beings here who aren't developing properly and they kind of just stay in and aren't going to prepare for graduation. They aren't qualified. But for those who have developed and have evolved to a certain stage of consciousness, these are the beings that are about to be picked like flowers. Like like a crop of vegetables that's good for picking. So right now they made me aware that the X stands for ready for extraction, exodus, exit. That's what that means. So if you big up to all the Xers, you are in your graduating status year. You are in that alignment where if you are ready and you have qualified, you are ripe for extraction. And it's not what we think. We aren't adults in their realm. We are just children. We are still teenagers in their realm. We aren't. When I was walking around the realm, I was walking around with my peers and all of them were teens. Their development is higher than mine, but they had me in a room of my own specific peers. So the X stands for Exodus. All the X's. That's why Muskie named his son X. Do you understand? They're trying to take on that X status, and it kind of blew my mind a little bit because, you know, when you think that you're an adult and you've accrued the status of, you know, being a grown up, you know, so to speak, and then you're sitting in alignment with beings that are absolutely your peer, but in their world, they're teenagers, and then you go into that world and you become that, it kind of makes you a little loopy. It makes you think, oh my God, like that's wild. Like in that realm, I'm a teenager. I'm not an adult. But in this realm, because of the qualifying time we have on this space plane, this quantum field, this earth holographic field, we are adults. Like if you're over 40, you're an adult. If you're over 30, you're an adult. If you're over 18, you're perceivably an adult. In their realm, you're basically, so the different, they let me know the different millennial, Y, all those are just terminologies to see what stage of development you're in until you make it to the next stage of extraction. So that in itself, that was what they shared. The women, the young lady who had, now this is how I felt. Okay, because I'm kind of jumping all over the place. This is how I felt in the realm. The room was filled with other melanated ETs, extraterrestrials, what we perceive to be extraterrestrial Niberians. The one with the Saturn hair, she was like very musical. Like she was very she was very like she was humming. She did some sort of poetry. And to be honest, like I felt like I wasn't up to par. You know, when you have a level of insecurity and you don't feel up to standard, or you don't feel smart enough, or when I was in the room with these other so-called teens, the Niberians, I literally felt like I hate to say it because you understand what I'm saying. Like I don't want to depreciate how I've just understand this is how I felt. It doesn't mean that it's valid in this realm, but in that realm, I felt like I had a deficit. Like I was lower. They didn't make me feel like that, but in their consciousness, like when they were talking amongst each other, they didn't use their mouths. They were very harmonic. The one with the Saturn, and now I understand why Saturn is connected to sound sometimes. Like, I don't know if she's connected to Saturn, but her hair, her fro, had a Saturn kind of halo over her. So I just say that. It does not mean she's Centaurian. It just means that that's what it looked like to me. But I just felt like I wasn't qualified. Like I was in a room with beings that were so hyper intelligent, they knew what they were. They knew where they were. I was placed in the room, I guess because they knew me. The one with the hair knew me, but I felt like I was out of sorts. Like they were interacting with each other and they were using hand sigils, like mudras. And it was so fast. It was like almost like a quantum, like almost like when I made the hand mudras, there was like like ripples with it. Like, you know, when you do something so fast, like, but there was like ripples with it when they did it to each other. And they did it to like as slang. Their mudras were slang to them. They telepathically spoke to each other, but the mudras they used in their hands were like slang. Like how we create ebonical slang here in this realm, they created there with their hand movements. So now I understand that some of us who come from that Niberian bloodline, that Anunnaki bloodline, that's why we use our hands so much. That's why we always do stuff like, yo, what's up? You know, when the gang members use hand signals and sigils, that's where they get that from. they get it from that world because they were doing it. Like, that's like how they say, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah, homegirl, you know, it's so interesting because when I'm watching them doing it, and they're doing it so fast that it has ripples. Like, I can't explain. Like, you know, when you see like a Superman movie and he's going so fast and he has like a trail, their hand symbols and mudras were so fast that it had like, you could see ripples like around their hands, like almost like trails around their hands. It was nothing I've ever seen. And I was with them for a while, and then I was told to go outside. So this is what's interesting is that my mate, who is obviously a new Nigerian, he telepathically called me outside, and when I went outside, I had to go down in order to go up. Listen to me, because it's messing with you, because you're in the quantum field. Concept of up, down, east, west, north, south is flipped. So in order to go up to him, remember, in my mind, I knew I had to go up to him. He was calling me, but when I'm going up to him, I'm actually going down. Just hear me out. I know it sounds crazy and schizophrenic. I'm telling you what happened. So I'm going down, and he's inside of the ground in like a domed kind of ship, like a mini ship, like almost like he's buried in like in the ground. Remember the Jetsons? Do you guys remember the Jetsons? When they had those little cars they were driving around in the air? Hold on, y'all. Let me take a sip. I'm not drinking my coffee. I need to put a like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans today. Hold on. Why is my top not working on my drink? Hold on. Let me take my top off. I don't have a wipe. Okay, so when I went to him, he telepathically called me, and he was in a domed top, a very small dome. Imagine you're sitting in a dome, but it's just covering like your head. Like, it's not big. It's kind of like maybe a little wider than its head. It's like the Jetsons. Like, it's just over his head over there, but the rest of the ship is like flat, and he's inside of the ground. So I'm going towards him, and he's talking to me, and I'm asking him, did he know I was in there? None of this is through the mouth. None of this communication is happening with the mouth. I have now qualified communication with my thoughts. So I understand that our conversation is purely, what is going on? Is there like bots in here, y'all? Oh my God, the government is in here? Who's doing those things in here? Can we mute them? Thank you, my loves. Oh, we got bots in here today. Don't look at it, y'all. See, this is how you know it's real. Whenever you have communication, they do know. This is like I think this is like the 4th time I've said I have communication. Look what the being is doing. Hold on, let me get them out, y'all. The being is doing that because they want to, hold on. I got to get rid of them. Okay, I got rid of them. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. They're out of control. They're bots in here. I think I got rid of him for good. Holy crap. Hold on. It's like, hold on, y'all. Holy crap. Okay, I think I got them. What the heck? This is what I'm saying. Whenever the others, the Smithitarians, Willy Wonka doesn't not want you to hear the contact, that's how I know that. Hold on, he's back. How is he back and I just got rid of him 20? Hold on, y'all. That's wild. Is he gone for good? Yeah, this is really intense. Okay, I got rid of him for good. I got him. He's back. Oh my God, it's the government doing it, y'all. Hold on. They're doing this. It's like Frogger. Hold on, I got him. I'm deleting him for good. He's creating another channel at the same time. This is an AI. Holy cow. Okay. I think we got rid of him. This is definitely governmental, y'all. They don't want you hearing this. Oh, well, this is good. This lets me, whenever he's back. What the heck? Hold on. Yo. Hold on. Okay. I don't want to lose track. Yeah, he kept coming. I blocked him in every which way, y'all. It's governmental or it's AI. It's something. It was able to replicate. Okay, so let me keep going. So my mate called me telepathically. I was supposed to go up to him, but I went down. When I went down, he was like in a bubble, kind of like ship, but he's back. What the heck? Y'all? Oh my God. Hold on. It's just creating more of itself. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I don't look at them. Don't look at them. Don't talk to them. Just delete him. I don't know how he's doing it. I'm blocking him for 24 hours. I'm getting him off the channel. I'm doing everything. He keeps coming back. I've never seen anything like that. Holy cow. Hold on. This is like, oh, I don't know how he's doing it. Give me a minute. I have to get rid of it because I don't know what kind of signs it's making in here. Hold on. Hold on. Let's make sure. It is. It's like Space Invaders. I'll start. What the? What? What is it saying, y'all? What is in there? Take a picture. Take a picture. I don't know what he's doing. Take a picture. Someone take a picture of what that thing is. I don't know, Yafi. I don't know what that is. We've got Space Invaders in here, y'all. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Holy crap. Hold on. Well, hold on. Thank you, Melissa. I'm gonna look at it. Okay, let me get done with this so we can get we can get through it. I'm not gonna let it win. It's coming back. Oh my God. This is like chat. Just keep deleting them. Keep deleting them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's from Nibiru. I don't even know. Anyway, someone took a picture. Melissa got it. Okay. All right, let me go into context. So my mate was in like a ship, like a spaceship, a dome with a ship. I went down there and just kind of, he asked me. Now I have to remember my thoughts. Okay, hold on, y'all. Just delete him. Delete him. I don't know how he's getting in here. He keeps coming back and making more. This is the government, y'all. Just delete him, delete him, delete him. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to keep deleting it. Give me a minute because now I'm forgetting my thoughts. The Jetsons. Okay, so it's kind of like a Jetson car. I went down there. Generation X, that's the group that they are ready for extraction, for exodus. Oh, scouts. So they have a host of scouts right now that are on ground. There's no ships coming in, y'all. They're not coming from above, they're coming from below. That's what I was meant to tell you. This is why the bots are here. They're not coming from above. They want you to look up, y'all. It's not coming from the sky, it's coming from the ground. And all these geoengineered storms, a lot of them are coming from, like weaponized frequencies that they're trying to keep to hold the object from coming from above. That's where the water's coming up. That's why you're seeing places where there's a lot of flooding, because nothing's coming from right here right now. It'll go up in the sky, but it's coming from underneath. So what's happening is that all of that water is bellowing over. Hold on, y'all. Don't look at it, y'all. I'm going to try to delete it. My God. Hold on. I'm just deleting them left and right. Hold on. This is validation. If ever there's a validation when you get something like that. Okay, so the craft is the craft that's coming, it's not what you think. It's going to come from underneath the water. That's where everywhere is flooding. They're trying to geoengineer reasoning why water would come. Oh my God. Hold on. Why water would come. I'm just deleting him at the same time, y'all. Holy cow. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I think I may have to. Let me do this. This video, I don't know what to do. I don't want you looking at that image, but I want to finish the story because I don't think I'm going to come back and make another video. Everything is coming underneath. That's my mate who showed up in a bubble. He's showing me that he's coming from underneath the ground. They're coming from underneath. Stop looking up. I need you guys to pay attention to the ground, to the seismic activity, places where things are coming up, where the ground is coming up. Remember in War of the Worlds, they showed you that everything was kind of buried already on Earth. It wasn't something that came from above. It was already here. So that being said, it's important for you to pay attention to where there are places where you're seeing bellows of water coming out of the ground. North Carolina, I actually think, has a location where these beings, where they have ships probably buried underneath the ground that are coming upward. The ships that they're saying that people are saying that are cloaked in the sky, I haven't any doubt that there aren't ships cloaked in the sky. But what I think a lot of times is we got to be careful because Willy Wonka and his League of Doom are going to use the holographic system to portray things in the sky, and meanwhile everything is actually underneath the ground. So it's really kind of like a bait and switch. They want you to perceive that UFO, oh my god, there's UFOs, oh, Atlas is coming from the sky. It's absolutely not. Remember that phenomenon that came from Antarctica? They came out of Antarctica and they could not, it was a big huge, like they did the sonar and you could see this big anomalous kind of object, and no one could tell what it was. And it came and people thought, oh, there's going to be a tsunami, but it didn't do that. Like literally you saw it move across going towards the west and then dissipate. It's the same thing. They are coming and they're here, but they won't be coming in the way that you perceive. So pay attention to the seismic activities, pay attention to places where it's flooded, pay attention to those things. There are scouts on ground. They look very much like us. And what I notice is that these teens that I met, like I call them Teen Titans. I don't know that they're Teen Titans, but because we are teenagers in their world, and some of you, if you're millennial, if you're Gen Z, you are the children, like the adolescents and the elementary school students of their realm. You aren't ready for picking. You are here to experience a form of up-leveling and evolvement and cultivation in this psychopathic realm. What we're experiencing here with all this pressure and all this psychopathic and diabolical behavior is seeing how we do well under constant pressure, how we evolve, how we're able to keep up with an ethical and moral stance in a world that's chaotic and non-moralistic, non-ethical, psychopathic, narcissistic. How do you deal with that? How do you overcome that? How do you show up and show out being a higher minded being in that type of environment? Like, are you one to fall into victimhood? Are you one to end up becoming like the darker ones just to try to make it through? You know what I mean? So it's really for us to hold on, y'all. This thing is out of control. I think this is Elon Musk and his League of Doom. Muskie, let me talk to Muskie. Muskie and your League of Doom, stop coming in my chat. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. When you come here, this is the type of thing. They don't do this to other channels. They don't come in here and show all these bots and attack the channel. We're not talking to you, Muskie Dusky and your AI Dusties. Okay? Keep your dusty butts off our channel. Look at you. You're desperate. Why do you keep coming in here? I'm glad you took a picture, Melissa. I don't know what that is. Thank you to the chat who's really working to get rid of these bots. They're out of control. And I noticed it's a frog too. Thank you, my loves. This is like a Frogger. You ever play Frogger and you're going across the street not trying to get run over? I have mods, everything. No, I have mods. The mods are kicking butt. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Chan. Thank you, thank you, Yafi. The mods are kicking butt. Yo, thank you, mods, for doing this and getting rid of him. I don't know what this is. It's some sort of AI bot, and it just keeps coming back over and over again. I deleted it from the channel. Okay, let me go back to the topic, y'all. They're here. I had contact with the black extraterrestrials. They are here. The ship is here. They're under the ground. They aren't above us. They are here under the water, under the ground, in the soil. They are under us. Okay? your president, Willy Wonka systems are trying to attempt to find and assassinate and to apprehend the scouts that are already dispersed throughout the entirety of our of our country. They're not just here, they're in every country, but this is the focal point of the Nigerians. The Nigerians' focal point is this area. Remember, we talked about ancient Kemet, the concept of where ancient Egypt was. Now, we've become aware that ancient Egypt, where the Olmecs stayed, and that's why all the Olmec heads and all of the pyramids were in the United Fakes, is because Egypt and ancient Kemet was in United Fakes. That's why all consciousness is mostly developed and cultivated within the United States. The most conscious beings that you're going to see, you could go to most countries, you're not going to see as many conscious awareness, much conscious awareness as you will in the United States. You'll see sprinkles of it in, like, definitely Europe, definitely in parts of Africa, definitely in little parts of Asia, not as much, Caribbean, obviously in South America, but the highest concentration of conscious beings is in 0 point in the United States. That's where all eyes are. That's why the Nigerians, the ship is underneath us. They're trying to find them. Your Willy Wonka system, your governmental system. I'm going to try to delete it, y'all. Thank you to the I'm so appreciative. Thank you, y'all, for getting rid of the bot. It's attacking the chat. Someone said it might be Anunnaki trying to communicate. Perhaps, but it needs to find a better way of communication because it's feeling like it's attacking. Oh, someone said it looks like a layered Asian Chinese Mandarin language. Can someone, okay, who's the describe? Take a picture. Someone take a picture of the chat, y'all, with their writing. Take a picture of the frogs writing, please. So we can figure out the language, so we can transcribe it later. If it's trying to communicate to us, if it is an Iberian Teen Titan, then we should be able to transcribe it a little bit. But I don't know that it is. It wouldn't come in so aggressive, and I don't think it would do that to the chat. It's doing it, maybe. We can always say we don't know what it is. It says a bunch of gibberish. It's binary code. You guys are getting it? Oh, it's putting letters. Wait, y'all, wait a second. It's doing letters. Hold on. Okay, hold on, y'all. We've got an alien in the chat. Hold on, it's got letters. Hold on. Let's see. Let's let it ride. Y'all, this might be telecommunication from the Nigerians. Let's see. We're gonna see. Hold on, y'all. We might be getting communication from Nigerians. M, we've got some sort of transcribing. M, I'm glad you're here. M, we've got Nigerian Teen Titans in here, maybe. M, can you see if you can transcribe now that I'm asking it to transcribe it? It's not coming in the chat anymore. How come now you won't come in? Now we want you to come in. Hello? We want you to give your message. Come on. How come you're not doing it now? What the heck? Where'd it go, y'all? Hello? Mr. Frog, you had so much to say. Come on. Why are you not talking to us now? Now we're paying attention to you. We're not going to delete you. Let's go. Holy cow. Now it's gone. Yo, this is crazy. Where are you? It's Mandarin? Where's On? On speaks Chinese. Now you don't want to talk to us. You wanted to talk when I was talking. Come on now, Froggy. Don't be shy. On, can you transcribe it? We've got, I think Yafi took pictures. I think Melissa got pictures. Y'all get pictures, because I think if it's... Wait, On's got it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. No. We're not at the right place, are we? Where were we with, Okay, we got on it. We got our translator of Chinese on it. We got it, y'all. We're going to get some transcriptions. Okay, okay. We're going to get some transcriptions. Oh, snap. We on it. It might be a message. Okay, so let's keep going. I think I can go now. It's not talking anymore. Okay, we already got it. Y'all, whoever's got the transcriptions, take pictures and we can, because we have our C-Star who speaks Chinese, we're going to get the message. This actually might be from them. I'm assuming it was a bot attacking us, but maybe that's not our assumption. And we're going to, everybody please get up on it. This might be a message from the Niberians, Teen Titans. Why I call them Teen Titans, y'all? Let me explain something. When I was on the ship and I realized that we are the teenagers of their world, when I realized that, it made so much sense that that's why there's a certain layer of like a layer of like of growth that happens after age 40. Like, it's weird because, you know, when they say like, you know, you're growing and we learn and so on. But what if we're really elementary until the age of like 30? Until the age of 30, we're like elementary school students. In their world, we might even be younger than that. We might just be babies in that stage. See, the being is gone. Okay, we got the transcribing. I'm gonna make a video later about the transcribing, but anyway, let's recap. What Thank you, Alex got it too. Thank you, Alex. We have a couple of people that speak Asian languages. So we have Alex who speaks Japanese, Em speaks Japanese, and we got An who speaks Chinese. We have other C-Stars that may be able to translate if it's Korean as well. So we'll be able to transcribe it if it is in a language that we can transcribe. So we get the messages. Okay, so let's recap. Nibiru's below us, y'all. It's not under. That's where the floods are coming from. Remember, there was a town and the flood waters were coming up, and they were like, we don't know where there's water coming up. Remember, people were saying, hey, we're getting flooding, and the flooding is coming from underneath the ground, and we don't know why. And they're saying like they get a little bit of rain, and it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, y'all. I got like. They were saying that they got a little bit of rain and it didn't make sense why the water was coming up onto the surface, because there's something pushing up the water from below. And remember, I want to reference the Matrix. If you remember, where was Neo picked up, y'all? Let's do a fun fact. Where was Neo picked up in the Matrix when he was freed from his from the cryo state, when he was in the pod? Where was he freed? Where did he go? Did he go above, or where was he dropped off? He was dropped off in the sewer system below the cities. Do you remember that? And Nebuchadnezzar, Zion, was a place that was so hidden underneath. Okay, so even when they were picked up in the Nebuchadnezzar ship was underneath the city. It wasn't above. Remember that. He was almost like flushed down into the sewer system and they picked him up there. The water that's coming up is because something is pushing it up. That's why you're seeing cities and are like, wait, it only rained a little bit. Why are we getting flooding? Because something is pushing it up. It's bellowing the water over. The ship is underneath, y'all. Nibiru's underneath. Don't let them psyop us thinking that Atlas is coming from above. If anything comes from above, if it's not coming out of the water, that means it's holographic and they're trying to trick us. They want us to look above and they don't want you to notice what's below. As above, so below. We need to pay attention to all the things happening underneath the ground, all the booms that they're hearing over in Georgia right now, all the booms they were hearing in LA. A lot of those booms were coming from underneath the ground. We have to pay attention to that. Start watching the seismic activities. Start seeing where they have spikes of radiation. We need to see when the whales are being beached, when we're seeing fish come up. We need to pay attention to the water. And it's always referenced, Daniel said, to the Leviathan, because the Leviathan was considered to be like what, a big whale or a squid. But notice it was always very aquatic in nature, right? It was always aquatic in nature. And if you listen, if you guys are big biblical people, I think the only references would be in Judaism and with Christianity, if I'm not mistaken. So within Christianity and Judaism, there's this concept of Moses, and Moses parts the Red Sea. Again, parts the Red Sea, makes it so that things are inside, going in the water. Remember when Moses parted the Red Sea, right? It was just people, it opens up the waters, y'all. And remember, every Stargate, every single Stargate that you see, Stargate, a lot of the Stargates, the vortexes, what do you see the Stargates made of? They're made of water. They're made of water. I'm so excited, y'all. Anyway, this is enough. We're gonna transcribe. I'm too excited to talk any longer. We're gonna transcribe all of the messages that we got. I want to thank everybody for coming today. You just got a whole alien interface, where we think, to a being that could not be taken off the channel. It literally could not be kicked off the channel. We did it several times. It had a message. We're going to transcribe it, and I promise you we're going to bring back, if there's any messages that are substantial, all of us will bring back. Now, if you took pictures of the chat today and you were able to transcribe, please send it to the email of GhaddessDell, GhaddessDell @gmail.com. If you were able to transcribe it, so that you can bring this. Look, the NPCs are here. If you can transcribe some of it, please send the messages, or put it in the messages under this video. We're gonna transcribe it. We're gonna come back with the messages. I'm so excited. We had contact. I had contact with the Nibirians. We are teenagers. We were hanging out. I was hanging out with Teen Titans, and I met up with the Geo Afro girl that had met years ago, who had a hair afro that looked like the ring of Saturn over a halo over her head. So let me know what you think. Please take pictures of it. Let me know what's going on, and we'll be able to see if there's any messages involved. Welcome to the new layer of contact, y'all. It's exciting. And if you're having contact, please leave a message. Tell me what you think if you had contact, because it's not just me. They're contacting other contactees. I want to say that I'm not anyone super duper special. I just happen to be a contactee, and I've had a layer of contact with these beings before. But let me know if you had contact. Put it under as a message. Thank you. And we're gonna have a lot to talk about on our Zoom on Thursday, y'all. All right, yeah. I hope I was able to get the messages out properly. I'm sorry, it was all over the place today. I hope. Oh, thank you, Yafi. I'm gonna check the Telegram. And again, I'm gonna make another video based on the messages if we are able to transcribe them. We got all our C stars from my Zoom, from my Telegram groups. We all got them, taking pictures and transcribing now as we speak. It's gonna be very interesting, y'all. Contact just happened with y'all. It might be contact that happens in this chat today, so you can too say you are a contactee. Love you, and remember my demisexual status. I'm now part of the LGBTQRIST community. I was when I was a trans frog, but I'm excited to come out of the closet, the galactic closet. Okay, so we shall chat, and thank you everybody for joining today. We had a galactic experience. Maybe it wasn't a troll. Maybe it was galactic. Maybe it was the Teen Titans off the ship of the Nibirian ship. Peace.